previous videos. Trying to get some more 151 packs, but you know, the Pokemon cards are pretty expensive right now because there's a big boom going on with all the new sets coming out, so we have this other binder which is pretty big that we will look at in a couple of videos because there's a lot of cards from Gen 1 and Gen 2 and just some other cards in here. And this is the binder we are going to be looking at today. On the left-hand side, we have this sticker sheet from Kids R Us, which I don't think exists. Surprisingly, none of the stickers have been used. I probably just found this in my parents' house and just stuck it in this binder. There's also some top loaders. Not quite sure why those are there, but they are. So this binder has, it's just base set, unlimited, so there's no Chalice, no first edition, besides this Machamp, and all these cards are, if I recall correctly, are cards that were pulled, you know, in the 90s from my family. So a lot of them, so some of them aren't in the best condition. I think all the hollows are in sleeves. Yeah, so like there's some dots and stuff on here. And yeah, the backs aren't in the, you know, best of shape, but they're still pretty sentimental because the cards that, you know, I've had for, you know, 20, probably 24 plus years. So this is just the this is the complete set, and we'll, you know, go through it. I know a lot of people growing up, you know, these are probably the two main starters people preferred. I know, you know, Venusaur exists, but, you know, everyone's loved Charizard and Blastoise. I feel like for me, I preferred Blastoise because, you know, he was blue, and I like the color blue. Even though now I'm more of a green type of guy. And here's everyone's favorite, you know, he's technically a salamander type of guy. But here is, you know, a standard base set Charizard, which actually looks pretty decent. At least the hollow pattern, there's not many scratches on it. It does have some wear on the back though. But, you know, growing up, I really liked Chansey. I just think Chansey was it's a simple designed Pokemon. It's also funny because, you know, it's an egg-shaped Pokemon. With an egg right there. sure what it's based off of, but it's a classic Ken Sugimori artwork. It's very off-centered, you can tell. I know a lot of people also like Gyarados. And you know, he's pretty cool. He has Dragon Rage for 50, 50, 50, and Bubble Beam for 40. Now, I never learned how to actually play the Pokemon TCG, and I thought about it with that new app, but I don't know. So I guess this Machamp, because it is such a it's in really bad condition, it has scratches. You can see the foil. It's not have his sleeve, and you know, all the Machamps. I have the first edition stamp because it came in the like this the starter box set. That's the only way to get it. My brother liked Magneton a lot growing up. He's a very engineering heavy guy, so I think he liked the magnets, and he kind of just liked the symmetry of the Pokemon. He also liked the color orange a lot growing up, and on the shadowless version of this card, the background's way more orange. Yep, here is Mewtwo. Again, you can see the silvering on the top of there, but it's you know, it's a pretty cool card, especially because the first movie is kind of based on Mewtwo. I also liked Ninetales a lot growing up, just because I liked Vulpix. You know, I like that Fox Pokemon. Foxes are really cool, especially how they dive into the snow. Also a big fan of Raichu. One of the first cards that my mom pulled actually was a Shadowless Raichu. Now this is the unlimited version, and the Shadowless version does look a lot better in my opinion. This one's actually in pretty decent condition. It does have some white nicks there, but now we have Venusaur, the last starter, and probably people's least favorite starter. Even though Bulbasaur is pretty cool, but you know, Ivysaur compared to Wartortle and Charmeleon is just, it's not as impressive. But man, Venusaur is huge. He's 6'7" and 211 pounds. This plant blooms when it is absorbing solar energy. It stays on the move to seek sunlight. So these cards are all in numeric order. On the bottom they will have, you know, 15 out of 102, so this is the 15th card in the set. In the black binder they are in Pokédex order, so Venusaur would be the third card on the page. I think this is the only legendary bird in this set, Zapdos. Yes, I'm a big fan of the background, but the legendary birds never did anything for me as a kid. They just, you know, existed. I liked Dragonair and Dratini growing up because, I don't know, they're just the cute Pokemon, they're cute dragons. And then Dragonite's kind of an absolute monster in a sense of the is really strong. So, that's kind of a theme in Pokemon. You have these like cute stage 1, stage 2 Pokemon that turn into these bees. Never liked Beedrill because bees are scary. On this page we have Electrode. Honestly, Electrode and Voltorb. Such simple Pokemon. And I like how Electrode is just an upside down Voltorb with a goofy face. But this is a nice card because of the rainbow background. I think that's supposed to represent it exploding. Always liked Pidgeotto because Ash had a Pidgeotto. Charmeleon is probably one of my, it's just a great artwork. It's like your stereotypical, 90s card. You can kind of make out what these purple rocks are, but like you could look at this card and always interpret something different. Like it's moving its arm here for slash, but like that's something I didn't really notice until right now. Farfetch is kind of cool just because of the his little his leak that he has that he uses as like not a wand but like a staff. I've always thought Abracadabra and Alakazam were pretty cool just because, it's a common phrase for kids to kind of say growing up, at least back when I was growing up. And here is Ivysaur. It has Vine Whip and Poison Powder. When the bulb on its back grows large, the Pokemon seems to lose the ability to stand up on its hind legs. Poliwhirl. There has a soft spot because I have these like figurines. Like I have a lot of these figurines that I'll probably show off eventually. But you can spin the figurine and his swirl looks really cool. And Poliwag and Poliwhirl can't do it because they have tails. Well, Poliwhirl does not, so. Porygon also is interesting just because he's like one of the few Pokemon that's like, that's a 3D rendering in the 90s. At the bottom here we just have Abra, Bulbasaur, and Caterpie. Again, iconic artwork for Bulbasaur. On this page we have Charmander. Again, fantastic artwork. You see him accidentally starting a wildfire. Hopefully the Squirtle Squad comes and puts that out before it spreads. Metapod is always just a stupid Pokemon. It's great because it evolves from Caterpie to Metapod to Butterfree at level 10 in the game. And Ash had a Butterfree in probably the saddest episode of Pokemon those early episodes where there's the two Metapods using Harden, and Ash's Metapod is, stronger. Here we have the Yellow Cheeks Pikachu, denoted by its yellow on its cheeks. On the Shadowless versions, there's a Yellow Cheeks and a Red Cheeks. I've always liked the Red Cheeks just because that's how Pikachu normally looks in the anime. But it kind of makes sense that, his cheeks are turning yellow because he's using an electric type move. Here we have Squirtle. This is probably one of the better depictions of Squirtle just because, these colors are they're more greeny, and he's a very bluish Pokemon in the games and anime. So it's always nice to see how these artists depict the Pokemon. After birth, its back swells and hardens into a shell. It powerfully sprays foam from its mouth. And on one of the final pages of Pokemon Art, we have Starmie, Staryu, Tangela, Voltorb, Vulpix, and Weedle. So I think a lot of the beginning sets, they go in alphabetical order to sort them. At least from each, rare, uncommon, and common. And then you have the trainers at the bottom, which I know now, like, if you're opening up a vintage pack and you get a trainer, that's just bad luck. But, back in the day, you could find these packs pretty much anywhere. I know there were times where they were hard to find, but, they produced so much base set back in the day. And I always liked the Clefairy doll because it looked like Clefairy. Again, I liked Imposter Professor Oak because, Professor Oak is the good guy, so it's kind of it's funny that there is an imposter. But most of the trainers, I know what they do, but I never really played the game, so I don't really know what is strong. I do know discarding your hand and drawing 7 cards is good. Card draw in any card game is good. But on this page we have a full heal, maintenance, plus power, Pokemon Center, Pokeflute, Pokédex, Professor Oak, Revive, and Super Potion. One thing about Revive that I never kind of understood is, like, why are there 3 stars? Never made sense to me. Again, I'm gonna go back just because growing up, this card was mesmerizing. Just because you had this rainbow pattern that swirls out. It's a nice looking card. Surprisingly, if I had to choose 5 cards that are my favorite from base set, it'd probably be like Chansey, Charmander, Super Energy Removal. What else? For 4 and 5, we have Charmander. these like explosion type backgrounds with, you know, a color scheme. This one's red, orange, and yellow. I've always liked these. I prefer like this background over, you know, the Venusaur background. And on one of the last pages, the second to last page, we have Bill, energy removal, gust of wind, potion, switch, double colorless energy, fighting energy, fire energy, and grass energy. Double colorless energy does not count as a basic energy. Then on the final page we have a lightning energy, psychic energy, and a water energy. I know, you know, the energies are some of the easiest cards to come by, especially now with like ETBs, they just give you a ton of them. But, you know, these original energies, you know, they are classic and they look awesome. Even though you have the background of the, you know, the same color as the energy, you have these little spotlights. You have these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spotlights, and they all have this like white, you know, like essence flowing from them that make them really pop. And, you know, these cards are, you know, not worth anything, but they are still cool to look at. We'll look at the sticker sheet one last time. Alright guys, you know, thanks for watching one of my Pokemon collection videos. I'll be posting some more Pokemon videos, but I don't want to be contained into being a, you know, Pokemon ASMR creator, because that's a expensive hobby. And for me, you know, a lot of ASMR is, you know, watching people just do stuff that's relaxing. So a lot of, you know, brain teasing stuff, and, you know, watching people complete something is something that I enjoy. So I'm gonna make more of those videos in the future. But you know, if you made it this far, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. See ya.